Hi everyone, welcome you all. So in the today's video, let us learn how we can handle different type of alerts in Playwright. So before doing that, let us try to understand the documentation of Playwright. So if I look at their documentation, they're basically calling them as a dialogues, and they're basically alerts. So they are saying three different type of dialogues support, like alert, confirmation dialog, and prompt. We can also call them as normal alert, confirmation alert, and prompt alert. So basically what they are saying is, by default, dialogues are auto dismissed by Playwright. Dialogues are auto dismissed by Playwright. So what does it mean is, whenever you get some alert on the web page, whenever you're performing some action, whenever you get some alert on the web page, Playwright will automatically dismiss it. So you don't have to handle them. So because the Playwright will automatically dismiss the alerts, so we no need to handle them. But however, you can register a dialog handler. You can register a dialog handler before the action that triggers the dialog to either accept or dialog or dismiss it. So what does that mean is, so by default, whenever you get some alert kind of a dialog, Playwright will automatically handle this. So you no need to separately handle this. But still, if you want to do certain validations on the dialog or on the alert window, what we can do is we can register a dialog handle. So for that, we need to write a piece of code like this. So this is a simple code we have to write to register a dialog handler before performing the action. So once you specify this handler, then we can actually write that action. So basically this particular statement will perform some click action on the button that will open the alert. So as soon as the alert is open, so this particular event will be triggered. This is called dialog handler or dialog handler event. And through that, we can accept the alert, or we can dismiss the alert, or we can do any other type of validations. So there are two parts are there. So first part is what we need to create a dialog handler, which is basically called as we can enable alert handling, which is also called as dialog handler. So for that, we need to write this statement. And after that, we need to trigger the event. That means we have to click on some button which will open the alert window, and this particular event or this particular dialog handler will able to handle the dialog. Means what? We can perform certain validations on the dialog or alert window. So I will show you some examples. I will show you different type of dialogs or alerts, and we'll see how we can write this dialog handler to handle the different type of alerts, and we can see different type of validations. Now directly go back to VS Code editor, and here I already created a alertspec.js and a small test, and I have imported test and expert functions, and I have created one test function. And basically three types of dialogues or three types of alerts we have. So some alert is having only OK button, and the second thing is confirmation, which is normally having OK and cancel buttons. And the third thing is the alert windows are having some kind of input box that we can call it as a prompt alert. Okay, now we'll see all of them three, how we can handle this. So first of all, let us see alert with OK button. So for that, I'm trying to launch this page. So if I just go back to this test automation blogspot.com, so here you can see three different type of buttons here. And when you click on the first button, you will see normal alert window. We have only one button, OK button. And if I look at the second one, confirmation box, if I click on this, now this is another type of dialog or another type of alert, which is having OK cancel buttons. And the third one is prompt. When I click on this, you will see the prompt dialog. So here you can pass some value, we can validate this. And after that, we can press OK or cancel, whatever. So when I click on OK, so whatever you provided in the prompt. So for example, here I'm providing something called John. And I say OK, and here it is giving same name. So this is a prompt type of dialog. Now we'll see how to handle them in Playwright. So let's go to VS Code editor. So first I will show you how to handle the first type of alert window. So before handling the alert window, so normally what you will do when you click on this button, which will open the alert window, then we can handle this. But in Playwright, we will handle this in a different way. So first, before clicking on this alert button, before getting this alert window, we have to write dialog window handler. So we need to write something called dialog window handler. So how we can write it? Let me show you. Okay, go back to VS Code editor. So here So to write dialog window handle, we need to first enable alert handling. So how we can enable? By using page.on. So in this, we have to specify a keyword called dialog. Okay, in the page.on, in this, we have to specify something called dialog, and that we need to receive in one more variable called dialog. And this is simple a variable, and I can use one keyword called async and dialog. And this is a arrow function which we have to write. So dialog and they say arrow function and then curly brace. Okay, so this is basically a handler, dialog window handler. So to write the handler, what you can do is page.on. Dialog is a keyword that we are storing in a variable. Now this dialog is representing a dialog box or alert window. So by using this, we can do different type of validations. So what this particular function will do is, here we are enabling alert handling. So this will automatically trigger whenever the alert window is open on your web page. This particular handler will be automatically triggered whenever some alert is got open. So in this, once you get a dialog, now we can verify something, right? For example, I want to check, okay, what type of dialog it is, what type of alert it is, right? So what you can do, we can use one assertion called expect dialog dot type. There is a method called type. So this will actually return what type of alert it is or what type of dialog box it is. And I'm expecting it is a normal alert. So I can say to contain single quotes, you can say alert. So this is one type of validation. So what type of alert it is, I can check. This is an alert type validation. And suppose I want to verify some message which is there in your alert window. Suppose when I click on this, I want to verify this message. I am an alert box. So this message I want to verify. So then what you can do is you can say expect, one more validation, expect dialog dot, there is a method called message. So this will return actual message which is displayed on the dialog or alert dot to contain, one more assertion, to contain, and here you can specify what exactly you are expecting from the dialog. So once we have done required validations, and then we can close the dialog. There is only OK button we have. So to close the dialog, what we can do is we can say await for dialog dot, I can say accept. So this is the function we have to call. So this particular method will automatically close the dialog. So three things we have done in this. So in the we here, by writing this function, we are basically enabling alert handling. Or this is also called as dialog window handler. Okay, so dialog window handler. So when we have to write this before triggering the event, that means whenever you click on the button, it will open up the dialog or it will open up the alert, right? So before that, we need to enable this. So after enabling this, now we need to open the alert window. By clicking on this button, we can open the alert window. So we can inspect this element and inspect this alert element, and you can just go to selector hub, and it is giving some relative XPath. Now I'm trying to use this relative XPath. Go back. Now after enabling this alert handling, now we need to write. So I can say await page dot click. So we want to perform the click action on that element. So page dot click and directly specify the element. That's it. So before clicking on the element or before opening the alert, we have to enable the dialog window handler. So by writing this code, we have to enable the dialog window handle. So why we need to enable? If you don't enable this, still it will able to handle the alert window, but we cannot do any validations on this. We cannot check whether it is open or not, what is the type of text it contains, what type of dialog box it is. We cannot verify. So before opening the alert window, we have to enable the alert handling. And this is called dialog window handler. So this is called dialog window handle that we need to enable. So simply we can say in shortcut, enabling dialog window handle. So once you enable the dialog window handler, then only we have to trigger the event. Okay. So now let us see how it is going to work. It will go very faster. So what we can do is we can just put some time so that we can see clearly where is a alert window is open or not. So after clicking here, I can just write something here. Page dot wait for timeout, and here I can say 5000 milliseconds. All right, now let me save and then go to the terminal and then execute the code. So I'm now running this command npx playwright test, and the test alert.spec.js, and project is Chromium browser, and in the header board I just want to execute. Now press enter. Now it is started my browser. Now you can just observe. It will go very faster. So it will open the alert window, immediately it will close. Now everything is done. And if I look at here, one test is got passed. So that means what? The alert is successfully passed. All expectations, whatever we have, so all are got passed. So if you want to check the report, you can just execute this command npx playwright show-report. Now you can see this. This is the test we have executed. Now you can see all my assertions are got, but somehow the page wait timeout is got failed. Okay. I think that function is not correct because we need to put some await before that page. Okay, so rest of them, all exception experts are passed. All assertions are got passed. You can see this is the type of alert, and also which contains the same message. So all my assertions are got passed. So this is how basically we can validate. So whenever you use page.wait for timeout, you also use await before the page. Okay, so this is one type of alert which contains only OK button. So it's a normal alert. Now I'm going to show you another type of alert. Let me close this. So just now we have seen alert with OK button, right? So now I'm just copying the same code. And this time, so first one, I just want to skip by adding just skip keyword. This will automatically skip. Now I want to run the test. So this time I'm going to show you another type of alert. Normally we can call it as a confirmation alert. So I can say confirmation dialog, which is normally having alert with OK and cancel. Both the buttons you can see on the dialog. Okay, now what we need to do this time, again, I'm launching the same page. And now we need to slightly modify this dialog window handle. So to modify this time we are going to handle the different window. So if I go back to the page, and confirmation box we want to handle. So click on this confirmation box. Now we got this one. So in this, what are the things we can validate? So we can validate what type of alert window it is. Basically, it is a prompt type of alert. Okay, that we need to check. And after that, we need to also verify this message. So this particular message displayed or not, we can check. After that, we can close this alert or dialog by using either cancel or OK button. So by suppose if you want to close this by using OK, so you have to use accept method from the dialog. And if you still want to close this by using cancel, you have to use dismiss method. Okay, so accordingly we just try to modify this. Go back, confirmation dialog or alert with OK and cancel. So how we can modify this dialog window handle? Okay, so let me just try to change this dialog window handler. So here, same thing. So page.on, we need to get the dialog, and in this variable. So what we are expecting, so dialog.type. So what is the type it should be? It's not a normal alert. It is a confirmation message. So I can say confirm. So this is a confirm type of alert window that I'm going to test. And then what is the message we are expecting in this? So if I go back to the alert, so this is the message we are expecting. So you can just go back and then specify the same alert. Okay, so these are the two validations. So one validation, we are checking what type of alert it is, whether it is a confirmation alert. Next thing is we are checking the message which is displayed on the alert window. So after that, we want to close it. When I say dialog.accept, this will close by using OK button. Okay, and suppose if I use like this, await dialog dot dismiss. If I call this method, so this particular function will close alert by using cancel button. Okay, so this is the validation. So after that, we can also do some other validation, because after closing the alert window, suppose I'm closing this by using OK button, right? So after that, you got some message here. You pressed OK, right? So this message also we can validate. Okay, that is not part of this enabling window handler, because after closing the alert window, we will get that message. So after closing it, we have to verify. Okay. So here I'm saying accept. I just want to close my alert window by using OK button. So this is a window handler, dialog window handler we have to enable. And after that, we have to click on the button. So this time we are clicking on some different type of button, confirmation box we need to inspect. So this is the relative XPath, and I'm trying to use it here. Okay. So after clicking on this, it will open the alert window, and this particular dialog window handle will handle this, and it will check all the assertions. But after closing the dialog box, or after closing the confirmation alert window, we do some validation. So here we need to continue with the validation. So what is the validation we have to do? So this is the message you want to validate. You pressed OK button. So let's inspect that element. And this is the relative XPath of this element. So from this element, we have to extract the text. So this text we have to extract. So go back to the VS Code editor. So now I'm writing the script here. Await page dot. So we want to put some assertion on the text which is displayed, right? So we can directly write assertion. Say await, expect, and here I'm directly writing locator. So expect page dot locator. So what is the locator of that element? I can just put it here. This is the locator of the element, and this locator should have some text. So I can put one method. So to have text. To have a text. T is uppercase character. And here we can specify what is the message you want to validate. So this is the message you want to validate. Copy this and then put here. So this is the assertion. So after closing the alert window, we can do validation. So here page.locator and the locator, and to have text, and this is the text we are expecting. Okay. Now let us try to save and open the new terminal and then execute. Yeah, now open the alert window. It is already closed. Very faster. Perfect. Now it is clearly saying one is got skipped, one is got passed. Okay, now let us look at the HTML report. Okay, now you can see, yeah, first one is got skipped. Because why it is got skipped? Because first test I put skip here, right? So this is not got executed by Playwright. So only the second test is got executed. And if I look at the report, confirmation dialog, so these are the steps exactly executed. So all the assertions are got passed. Okay, so this is how we can simply test alert window. Okay, so this is the dialog. So this is another type of alert window, which is normally called as a confirmation alert or confirmation dialog. Now let me show you another type of dialog. So this is one type of dialog. Let me copy the code. And I'm also skipping this. And now I'm going to write another test. Now this time I want to show you another type of dialog. So this time I want to show you prompt dialog. Prompt dialog in the sense which is having an input box, which is also having OK cancel button. But along with the OK cancel button, you can see some input box that also we need to handle. Okay, so now the same application. So now slightly we have to modify this dialog window handler. Okay, let me show you this. So now the third one, prompt. So when I click on this, you will get this alert window, and by default some text is displayed, some name is displayed, right? So this name also we need to validate. So that's the default name which we have to validate. And if I click on this OK button, what happens? Whatever name is there in the input box, right? So the same name is got displayed here called Harry Potter, right? Same thing. So now we need to validate it. So let's go back and then validate. So how we can change this dialog window handler? Same dialog, asynchronous dialog. So what we are expecting here, dialog type. So dialog type is what? It's not a confirmation box, it's a prompt. So I can say prompt. So this is our expectation. The dialog should be prompt type of dialog. Then, so we can verify the message. So this time, what is the message which we have in this box? And this is the message. Please enter your name. So that is the message we want to validate. So message contains this one. So this is the message. Now, after validating the message, what else we can do? We can pass some value in the input box also. So this is the default value. So this is the default value which we can verify. And after that, we can pass some new value into this. So how to verify this default value which is their input box? You can just go back and write one more. So before accepting this, we need to put one more expect. Okay, so here the default value which we have to validate in the input box. So how to get the default value of the input box? So to get the default value from the input box, so we have to take this dialog. Okay, dialog dot dialog dot default value. So dot, there is a method called default value. So this will actually returns the default value which is present inside the input box, and that value we have to validate. So dot to contain, and here in the bracket you have to specify the value. So this is our expectation. So we can verify the default input value, whatever the value which is already there in the input box, that we can validate. So this is the value we can validate. So how we can capture that value? Dialog dot, this is the dialog. So from the dialog, we capture the default value that should contains Harry Potter. Okay, after successfully tested this particular value, then we can put our own value. Okay, so what I can do is I want to close this dialog box by passing some value here. Let's say I want to pass something called John, and then I want to press OK button. Right, so I want to pass some value here, then I can press OK button. So for these two things, we have to do only one thing. So what you can do is simply you can say we already capture the default value. So immediately what you will do is we can just close the alert window here. Await dialog.accept. And at the time of accepting this input box, at the time of accepting this dialog, here we have to pass the value. So this is something new. So that input box we cannot directly inspect. We cannot directly handle this. So at the time of closing my alert window, by using accept, we just pass the value. And this value will automatically go to that input box. Okay, so this is the way we need to write our dialog window handler. So once we have written this, there are multiple assertions are there. We can verify the type of the alert or type of the dialog, which is prompt, verify the message, and also verify the default value which is there in the input box, and then close that alert window or close that prompt window by providing a value in the input box. So this is how we can pass. Right, after writing this window handler, then come out from this block, and now here we need to click on the button which will open the alert window. Now inspect this element, prompt, and this is the relative XPath for that element. Now here I'm changing it. So now I'm clicking on the button, so that will open the alert window. So once you open the alert window, what is the validation we do now? So after opening the alert window, once we provided some data here, and after clicking on OK button, so this is the message you want to validate. So whatever is we provided in the input box, same thing will be there here, right? So this is the message we want to validate. Now inspect this message, and this is the XPath of this element. Get this, and now we need to change this page.locator, and this is the element. And in this element, what is the text we are expecting here is, we are expecting this particular text, and that we need to validate. That's it. Okay, so this is very simple. So by default, Playwright will handle all types of dialogues. Okay, so we no need to separately write code for closing alert or closing dialogues. But why we have to enable this dialog window handler? Because we want to do certain validations on that. So before clicking on the button or before opening the alert window, this event should be triggered. Okay, so before opening the alert window, the event should be triggered. So that's the reason we have to enable this dialog window handler before clicking on the button. Okay, so this will able to handle this. All right, so now the first two I just want to skip. The first one is got skipped. Second one is also got skipped. Now the third one I just want to execute. Now save the file and then go to the terminal and run the command. You can observe here it is going very faster. Fine. So now 2 got skipped. Why 2 got skipped? Because the first 2 steps I mentioned skip here. So first 2 types of alerts. First one is normal alert. Second one is confirmation. Now it is a prompt. Second one is confirmation. Now third one is a prompt alert. So first 2 got skipped and now the latest one is got passed. So if you look at the report, npx playwright show report. Now you can see this is the one. Prompt to dialog. So first 2 is already skipped. So this is the last one. So all my assertions are got passed. Okay. So this is how we can handle a different type of dialogues or different type of alerts. So what Playwright is clearly saying, the Playwright is saying by default dialogues are auto dismissed by Playwright. But if you don't, so we no need to handle them. But if you still want to do certain validations on the alerts or dialogues, so we need to handle the dialogue. So we need to register a dialog handler before the action. So before the action means before clicking on the button, we have to register dialog handler, then we can perform the action so that we can perform certain validations on the alert window. Okay, so this is all about this video. In the next video, we will continue. So thanks for watching.